What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today I want to talk about the rumor mill with Zach Wilson and Zach Wilson's trade value. It's not a surprise the New York Jets will most likely be moving on from Zach Wilson this offseason. It was a weird year in 2023 for Zach because the New York Jets spent the end of 2022 and the beginning of 2023 saying that Zach Wilson needed a reset. He needs to get away from football, the whole thing. Robert Saleh needs to go to a beach and read somewhere. And then 4 plays into the season, he was then launched right back in to having to play again. And guess what? It didn't go very well. So the ship has kind of sailed on Zach Wilson, it feels like. And I think it would be in both sides' best interest to just move on and try to, again, get this thing going in a different direction here, which, again, is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It just feels like this is something that is, reached the point that it is over. So what could Zach Wilson go for? And is there anyone who wants to trade for Zach Wilson? Well, U Stadium is reporting that Zach Wilson will have multiple suitors. Okay, that is interesting. And then they also go on to say that the trade return could be a day 3 pick or a mid-round pick swap. Now, day 3 pick is very vague because that could mean anything between round 4 and round 7. If I had to guess what kind of draft pick you would be getting for him if it was not, the pick swap, just Zach Wilson, no pick attached for a draft pick on day 3, I don't think it would be a 4th or 5th. I think it is most likely going to be, my guess would be a 6th round pick. Could it be more? Yeah, we've seen trades where it's been more than expected. We've seen trades where it's been less than expected. But the part that kind of interests me a little bit more is the mid-round pick swap. Because to me, mid-round is between 2 to 4, somewhere in that range. The Jets don't have a second-round pick. I don't think it would be a second-round to third-round pick swap. But something that I do find interesting is that the Jets have 2 fourth-round picks. If the Jets were to trade Zach Wilson and one of their 4th-round picks, could that be enough to get them a third? And is that enough of a return? I think yes. I think that is absolutely enough of a return if you're trading Zach Wilson and a 4th-round pick to move up into the third. That's essentially something that you do. We've seen the pick swaps happen before. It's something that Joe Douglas has done in the past. They just did it with the Elijah Moore trade. That was their way of getting a second-round pick after trading or doing the Aaron Rodgers trade. But again, something that I think is going to be really interesting here is the Jets draft strategy. We'll have a better idea come March in free agency what the Jets plan is in the NFL draft, what they'll still need when it's time for the NFL draft. But right now, they don't have that second-round pick because it's going to Green Bay in the Aaron Rodgers trade, which is fine. They have a first-round pick, pick 10. They have a third-round pick, 72. If they use one of their 4th-round picks, could they end Zach Wilson? That would be a way for them to get a third pick in the top 100. That's what essentially you would be doing. So you'd be using your pick somewhere in the 110s and moving up to a top 100 pick, potentially top 90 pick by attaching Zach Wilson to it. I think that is worth it. To me, that is more appealing than just like, hey, we're not going to attach one of the 4ths. We're going to instead, just take the 6th rounder because that 6th round dart throw is less likely to hit than a 3rd rounder. And a 3rd rounder is obviously, there's no guarantee in a 3rd rounder. There's no guarantee in a 1st-round pick either, as we know. But something else that we know is the closer you are to the top, the higher percentage chance you have of hitting. So I would be comfortable moving Zach Wilson and one of your 4ths, because you have 2. It's not like you're trading that 4th-round pick and then, a 4th rounder disappears. Then it would be 1st-round pick, 2 thirds, a 4th, and then you're going from there. That, I think, is an appealing way to get better draft capital, or a better draft from this class would be to attach Zach Wilson and one of your 4th-round picks and potentially move up. If that's something that's on the table, as you know, from the report from U Stadium, to me, that is what a mid-round pick swap would be. Maybe it's a fifth to a fourth, but I don't think that's what we're talking about here. Then that's what I would be all over. But I want to hear from you. What do you think happens with Zach Wilson? Do you think he gets traded? I do. I think it's over for him here in New York. And I do think it's going to be a pick swap. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll catch you next time.